A good Erev Shabbos and welcome. This week's Torah portion describes 7 of the 10 plagues. And with each of the plagues, Pharaoh continued to refuse the Jews to leave the land of Egypt. Some question that if God was the one hardening Pharaoh's heart, how is it that Pharaoh was punished for something where his freedom of choice seemed to be taken away from him? And one approach is that God actually didn't harden his heart. Rather, God was creating the human nature. And human nature is such that the more that we create this pattern of behavior where we continuously say no to something, it gets harder and harder to say yes and to admit that we were in error. So every time Pharaoh said no to Moshe and to Aaron and to God, the next time when the plague hit him even harder and he said no again, it became more difficult to say yes and to admit that he was wrong. Rather, it was his ego or pride or the seemingly mistake that many of us make that next time we will be the winner. And this actually connected for me the vaccines that many, thank God, in our community were able to receive. Certainly far too little, but God be willing, soon enough, everybody will be able to get the vaccine. Is how does the vaccine against the virus of COVID-19 work? It creates a protein of the virus, not a harmful one, but a harmless proteins of the virus that educates and tricks the body to be able to fight the virus. So that in the future, if God forbid, you actually do get the virus with all the harmfulness, the body will already have been educated how to fight it off. The lesson is a telling one. It means that as soon as we begin to get a sense that there's something that can cause danger, we'd immediately have to be on the defensive to be able to fight it off and do the right thing that will ensure that it doesn't have a long-lasting effect. As soon as Pharaoh had 1 or 2 plagues, he should have immediately gone into a quiet room, meditate, and think about, really, how do I rid myself of this problem? And there would have been only one solution. That sometimes you're not the big Pharaoh. This is one battle that you're going to lose. You need to massage your ego a little bit. Be a little humble. Because if you can say yes, you'll be saved a lot of heartache. So next time that we're faced with a decision that could have long-term impact, get rid of the ego, become a little humble, because every time that you stand up and fight in a way that you know it's wrong, it will be harder and harder to back down. Many of us have experienced such situations where we get into such a frenzy that we can't back away from the situation anymore. So when you get small little doses, don't let it get too big where you no longer can fight it off. Have a great, great Shabbos.